The 23rd edition of the FISU World University Cross Country Championships hosted in Oman on the 17th and 18th of February, where the athletes competed in various categories, including 4 individual disciplines and 2 group mixed disciplines. And there, Team South Africa travelled with a total delegation of 19, including 15 athletes and 4 management members. That's where they took gold in 3 of the 4 individual disciplines in the 3-kilometer women's race, as well as the men's race, where Keanu Domingo got a gold medal, Christoper Swart got a silver, and of course we also have Karabo Mailula, who got a gold medal in the women's 10-kilometer race. And they do join me now in studio to unpack that and, of course, how the experience was in Oman for these young student athletes as we look ahead to Paris 2024 and perhaps the aspirations that they may have. I do have Keanu Domingo, Christoper Swart and Karabo Mailula right here in studio. Welcome to Newsroom Africa. Let's talk about Oman and how the experience was for you and returning with the medals that you have around your neck.
Yeah, so first of all, the weather was actually quite nice, quite similar to South Africa as well, like Poch as well. So I think the weather conditions was perfect for us South Africans because we're used to the heat and humidity as well. And we actually just brought back, like me and Keanu also spoke about, like the team medals as well, the medals. So we said before the race started, we actually had a team tactics, how we wanted to play out. And according to the race and stuff, and it went exactly like we said it wants to be. So, as we said, we wanted to go as a team together. And I think approximately after the water jump, me and him spoke in the race and then said, okay, we have to go now or never, otherwise we're not going to make it. And then he went and I told him, okay, I can't go with you now because otherwise I won't make it. And then he went and then luckily I could hang on for second place. So yeah, it was quite nice.
Yeah, let's bring Keanu in on this because it was one where the African nations particularly performed really well, with South Africa getting medals in 3 of the 4 individual categories. What do you think was the difference in terms of your preparation and how you guys were able to perform so well?
In terms of preparation, I don't think we do anything different from any other athletes. I mean, we're in an environment where athletes from abroad come to train, they come for training camps, and we have the perfect resources in Poch, we have the perfect support. I think in terms of preparation, it was just our mindset that was just on another level. We were on another level in terms of our mindset. We knew going into the race that we could actually do this. Even like Chris said the night before, we spoke about the race. And I think we rattled the boys a bit in the relay the previous day because, yeah, when we went out doing the relay, they didn't expect us to perform the way we did. And that's when I realized, nah, this is our race. We could actually take this. And that's when we spoke about the race and how we're going to approach it. And it went exactly according to plan.
How did you deal with the heat, Karabo? Was it as hot as it seemed in the pictures and in the visuals that we saw from the championships?
The heat, it was too hot. It was too hot. I felt like I was suffocating. On top of that, I had flu. I caught flu inside the flight. So, yeah, that was a bit challenging for myself because I have to challenge my flu and I was panicking on top of that and the heat, so it was overwhelming.
Let's talk about your career and perhaps your aspirations as you look forward. You had a trip to the World University Games last year, which was your first international trip. How was that, and what are your future prospects looking at where you want to take your running journey?
Okay, last year we went to China, Chengdu. So my first experience, it was quite scary because it was my first time. So, and also there at China, the heat, it was too much. Yeah, it was too much than the Omani heat. So, yeah, we went there and ran. I was just running for my... I ran there, but then the heat was too much, and then I've experienced a lot running with other athletes from other countries, and the heat, it was too much there. So, yeah, I really enjoyed and ran my best.
There's something else that people don't know in terms of who is coaching you and who's behind the success in your career. Tell us a bit more about Caster Semenya and the impact that she's had on your career.
Well, I don't know so much about Caster since, yes, I agree, she is my coach. Caster and her wife, Violet Semenya, well, Caster is training short distance and Violet trains long distance. So my coach it's Violet-Simiya. Yeah, they used to confuse this. But then both of them, they are my coaches. They mentor me and do everything for me.
Let's look ahead to Paris 2024. The qualification period is now open. Any of you looking to perhaps see how far you can get with that aspirations for Olympics? Let's start with you, Keanu, in terms of what you are going to be looking at as a university athlete who wants to perhaps take things further.
Yeah, no, I'm actually glad that you mentioned that because I'm a student as well. And in terms of Paris 2024, I think we'll just leave it all in God's hands. We'll take things as they come. We're not forcing things. I'm quite young, so there's a lot for me still to achieve. I have a long career ahead of myself, so there's not anything I want to rush now. There's still a lot that I can achieve, and to rush the process now might affect me later in the long run. So, like I said, we'll just put everything in God's hands, and I'm sure everything will work out the way it should.
For myself, the Olympics, I never thought of that as much. It wasn't on my plans because I never thought I would be here. So, but then I so wish one day to go there and feel the experience, run with top athletes, and enjoy the race and run my best there.
And while you mentioned that, Christoper, then how do you encourage other young athletes who are watching at home going, well, I want to be wearing these medals one day. I want to perhaps see myself campaigning at the Olympic Games. What does it take to make sure that you're a high-performance athlete and you're able to then have that discipline, juggling your student academic commitments with your athletics and making sure that you're able to succeed?
So I think, first of all, you have to focus on academics because you can't run for your whole life. So you have like a span of, I think, 20 years. So after that, you have to focus first on academics, and once you have accomplished the academics and things, you can also focus. But you have to have a balanced lifestyle as well. So you can't just focus on running or athletics. So I was thinking, if you're young, you have to go through the ranks, start young, and then as you progress older, see what event you want to specialize in. And as you go on, you get coaches that are mentors, and the people, your training group is very important as well. I think people see athletics as an individual sport as well, but it's not an individual sport. It's actually a team sport behind the scenes. Your training, the mental aspect of it. So I think you have to have a team behind you, your biokineticists, your doctors, all that stuff as well. So I think for the younger generation, just focus on the stuff you're doing now. Don't take it too seriously, and just have fun. Always have fun and enjoy it.
There's medals around your neck. Just take us through them. Which events you got your bronze? We know about the gold, or rather, we know about the silver medal. So, yeah, take us through the events that you medaled in. Okay,
so the first day, I think it was the Saturday, we ran the relay. We got there. It was me, Keanu, Sasanda, and then Simonay in the team relay for the short one, 3Ks. Keanu started for us, and then it was Simonay, and then it was me, and then it was Sasanda. So actually, we didn't actually have a planned team tactics. Then we actually didn't knew each other before we went. We only get to know each other on the trip as we went on the airport, and then the gun went, Keanu ran. So we were just hoping for a medal or just something. A top 5 finish would have been great for us. And then Keanu started, and I see he was in the bunch the whole time. And then Simonay ran. Simonay made a big gap, I think 100 meters, and then myself also ran, and then we were in the head, I think 150 meters, and then we gave it to Sasanda, but then the conditions were quite tough, the heat and all that stuff, and so she did get a bit of heat stroke as well, but then luckily she held on for the 3rd place, and we're very glad. And then, as Keanu said earlier, we scared some of the people, the countries as well. Like I know Great Britain were next to us in the call room and stuff, and they were always talking and looking down to us, and we said, okay, we're not going to get it, tomorrow we're getting it right. And and then the next day we had individual races, and then me, Keanu, and Abuniko, we sat at the table, and then we said, no, we have to make big plans because we can do it. And then, we did get it.
All right. Lastly, what's next on the agenda for you?
In terms of sport, so I'm just trying to focus on my national championships, which is under 23s, that's held in Polditch. Thereafter, I think I might take a trip to Europe, try to qualify for our Africans, which is a big deal. So if I could get to Africans, I know that the last step would be for me to try and qualify there and perhaps get a wild card for the Paris 2024 Olympics, which is possible. I think we realized after this weekend, anything is possible, as long as you trust yourself, you trust the process, the preparations, and like I said earlier, you just need to have that strong mindset, that elite mindset. Yeah.
Well, we wish you all the best. It sounds like the strong mindset has taken you guys very far. Thank you so much for joining us here. And we look ahead to your next competition next year, as there are the World University Games. That's also going to be coming up in the year to come. So those are the 3 medalists that were joining us here. Keanu, Christoper, as well as Karabo, of course. Karabo and Keanu getting gold medals, with Christoper getting a silver in his individual event. And those are the 3 individual disciplines where Team South Africa got medals there.